What makes a luxury car? The materials? Features? Ride quality and performance? Perhaps the pedigree. There, the G80 is starting from scratch since the Genesis brand is all new.
If you're thinking about dropping by a swanky Genesis dealership to check one out, good luck with that. There are none in the United States as of now. G80 is sold out of Hyundai dealerships.
Toyota created Lexus, Nissan has Infiniti, Genesis is Hyundai's new luxury division. In fact, the 80 here used to be the Hyundai Genesis. It's received a substantial upgrade in accoutrements inside. No doubt real trees gave their lives, so owners would have something nice to look at. With the top trim Ultimate package that's nearly $9,000, G80 gets a very adjustable heated and vented driver's chair, high-end sound, and an upgraded user interface that unfortunately nixes the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay found on lower trims. Buying at a Hyundai dealership passes the savings on to you. Loaded at just under $54,000 as tested, it's priced near a base model Acura RLX, which is Honda's premium mark. I'm motoring along with a 3.8-liter V6 with 311 horsepower and 293 pound-feet of torque. I do like head-up displays. Cog swaps are smooth, done with an 8-speed transmission that calls no attention to itself whatsoever.
Most G80s will be rear-wheel drive. This one is all-wheel drive, nice for this sloppy weather.
Most drivers will find the power perfectly adequate.
0 to 60 miles an hour happens in just under 7 seconds. If you want more oomph, there is a V8 with 420 horsepower, but it's not available with all-wheel drive.
As a Hyundai, this car was quite good. Upgraded to Genesis duty, it's suitably impressive, though it doesn't provide the triple Teflon feel that big boys BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class have. But attention Kmart shoppers, comparably equipped, the savings can be nearly $15,000.
G80 is certainly not sloppy or floaty, but the suspension is set up for comfort, not for sport, though there will be a sport model. It's going to get a twin-turbo V6 and adaptive dampers. That's coming in the spring of 2017.
All-wheel drive drops fuel economy a couple miles per gallon. The EPA rates it at 16 city, 25 highway on standard grade gas. That's on the thirsty side. Driving isn't a contact sport. All of the latest safety tech like auto braking with pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control, and lane keep assist are here.
An upscale car should be very quiet, and the G80 is. Watch this. Hey Rob, can I have my coffee? See, didn't even have to yell. Thanks, Rob. I yelled.
Oh, and Rob is not standard equipment. Back to the cabin, this is a nicely appointed space without a chintzy panel in sight. Those believing the G80 is a commoner with a layer of veneer would be smart to actually sit in one before dismissing it. Just the right amount of knobs and buttons make life easy. The intuitive interface will satisfy both touchscreen fans and those who want to keep the display fingerprint-free. There's no surround view camera system or fancy LED light piping on the dash to add pizzazz at night.
To coddle passengers, the back seat of an upscale vehicle should have certain attributes. Legroom is good, not limo-like. The outboard seating positions noticeably comfortable.
If you simply must have a power port or separate climate control, this is not your car. The outboard positions give folks a nice warm feeling and a spot for drinks. The glass roof is especially dramatic back here. The center position is raised and there's a drive shaft tunnel. Stick the small person in the middle.
With the proximity key on your person, simply standing next to the trunk lid for a few seconds automatically opens it. Always handy because who doesn't always have their hands full of this stuff?
Less handy, the seats don't split and fold. There's just a ski pass through. That said, the trunk is pretty big. 7 carry-on suitcases or bundles of TP are good to go back here. Best not to confuse the two. Even when it was the Hyundai Genesis, this was a good-looking sedan with its long hood and solid stance. Genesis tapped Luke Voelk, who worked in the high end of the Volkswagen Group, to pen the South Korean brand's luxury vehicles. Luke famously called out the Lincoln Continental design team for effectively copying the Bentley Flying Spur design. Point taken, though. From 20 paces, the Genesis face is easily mistaken for an Audi, and there's a lot of Bentley and Aston Martin in the Genesis logo. Just saying. For the first 3 years, owners won't have to return to the Hyundai store for service, since Genesis staff will pick up cars and drop off a loaner. And in 3 years, spiffy new showrooms should be ready, much-needed SUVs and crossovers too. The car that gave the brand its name adapts easily to the new mission at hand. Now begins the uphill battle to establish heritage and prestige. I have already reviewed the 80's big brother, the G90, and it's a very nicely put together luxury sedan, definitely worth a look. The 90 is only available from some 330 Hyundai dealerships that have been specially culled. The 80 can be sold by all of them. Both cars lack a distinct design identity that says Genesis, but that will come in time, I have to believe. Both cars are most often confused as Audis, probably because of the grille. Truth is, Lexus did exactly the same thing when it was new. The LS was a blatant ripoff of the Mercedes E-Class of the day, and its second offering was the ES, which was easily spotted as a gussied-up Camry. The folks at Genesis say there will be 6 models by the time 2021 rolls around, and you'll probably be able to get espresso drinks in dedicated showrooms by then. That is how I feel about the 2017 Genesis G80. Now, back to the dealership experience. Do you really need a fancy place to bring your car for service? I don't know, that's an awful lot of overhead. I would rather save the money. It's sort of like buying Coach leather goods at Costco. You still get the great stuff, you just save a lot of money. Maybe it's my practical Midwest upbringing. It's something to think about. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk. All right, helping me today with the driving footage, Rob Claro. It's Rob's birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to stop singing now.
Special time.